Sway in the morning. It's Sway in the morning.
Good morning, live.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the LTC podcast. It's episode 2. Today's guest is not only an entrepreneur and a financial advisor, but it's the one and only William Wilkinson.
What's up, bro?
Thank you.
Welcome onto the LTC, dude.
Thank you very much for having me, guys.
First question, straight up. Let's go. How is it being a financial advisor and entrepreneur?
With everything in life, like there's a teething phase.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think after some time, you start finding your feet and realizing how you can use, let me say, the structure of the job to benefit you in terms of your time, income, etc., etc. So, like I said, with everything in life, it has its teething phase, and once you get past that, you start walking, running, flying.
I get what you're saying.
Depending on what industry, and obviously.
No, definitely. So, just inside track on it is that everyone will find it difficult because payment or paying structures are different. It's commission-based, fee-based, whatever you've signed up for. So people find it difficult because there's a sense of complacency in everyone. I need a normal job to pay me at the end of the
salary every month.
Or if I'm working for 10, 15, 20 grand, I know I'm going to get that. Whereas you're given free reins. Like, let me write an open check for myself this month and go and collect it.
Yeah, and also I guess like because you work for yourself also on the side, what you earn is like infinite. You're not limited to that salary that you're going to bring back every month, which is nice to know you're going to get that. Because the flip side, I think, of doing what you're doing is like if you don't work, you're not going to make the cash. You know what I mean?
For sure. No, after I think the age, I think I was like 23 or 24, I got tired of being paid 12 times a year. I was like,
Not enough.
it's not enough.
Yeah, so just from my side, like as a young person, like investment options for someone that doesn't have any experience in
Starting
investing,
out.
should you advise them to go to a financial advisor straight away, or like if they're willing to attempt doing something themselves, would you like advise it?
Like, what if you don't have, you know what I mean? Like he's saying, what if you don't have money? You've got a little bit. Can you still invest? Or is it better to, you know what I mean?
Guys, everything starts at one. A million, a billion. It started with $1, R1, whatever it is. So every little bit counts towards the end goal. And it's just being mindful of the direction you want to take. So you just got out of varsity, your first job. There should be a good amount of savings that you're putting away, whether it's in your bank account, whether it's in a tax-free savings, whether it's in a retirement annuity. These are the kind of vehicles that you can use at your disposal to start building a net worth or a surplus of funds or a savings account or something you can fall back on. So to answer your question, like I said, the best thing out there right now is a tax-free savings. You're getting a tax deduction from the government for using it, and you can access the money as frequently as you'd access your bank account. So number one, the flexibility is awesome.
Just to get, how do you get a flexible tax-free savings? Sorry.
You can talk to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys
Good start. Talk to him. Don't talk to me because I'm going to tell you to give it all to me.
That's the wrong person.
So I'm sure everyone's banking app has a tax-free option linked to it. If you'd like someone to guide you, it's best to talk to an advisor. Maybe you want to expose yourself to equities and not just do a normal savings account. So tax-free savings, I think it's better than having an endowment at this stage. Well, endowments are 5-year termed investments. And if you cancel or forfeit or default in that time, you face penalties and charges, which is what you don't. You want to get every buck worth your money.
So with a tax-free, does that literally mean it is tax-free? Whenever you pull it out, it's tax-free.
So the interest, you get a 36,000 deduction from the interest that you've accumulated.
Okay.
So you can put 36,000 in there. Doesn't mean you've exhausted it.
Okay.
It just means that you're capped in terms of it.
Okay.
So plain and simple, if your fund grew by 36,000 in that year, you'll be taxed after the 36,000. Not within the 36,000.
Okay, cool. That's some nice insight. And it's actually, I'm glad you brought it up because that's one of our questions I've written here. Please explain the difference between TFS, So your tax-free savings account, money markets, and then ETNs, right?
Yeah,
ETFs and ETNs. Yeah.
So to break it down simplistically, obviously, tax-free savings, you get a minimum contribution of probably anywhere from 500 and upwards. You get your tax deduction of 36,000 or 500,000 in your lifetime.
Okay.
Some other people won't know that.
Yeah.
That's a tax-free savings. In a nutshell, you can expose yourself to funds like money market. So money market is a fund. It's not an investment.
It's not actually
Yeah. So
something.
Yeah. A money market is your fund that doesn't fluctuate throughout the year. It's based on interest and cash that fluctuates around the banks. So if you look at a money market fact sheet, you'll see that it has Nedbank, Absa, Standard Bank. So collectively, they create interest by their borrowing and lending amongst themselves and to us. And that's how they generate an interest that isn't fluctuating throughout.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
So it's essentially a savings vehicle. So
and then
TFSA goes together with money market.
Money markets. And then your an ETF?
ETNs and ETFs are based on listed companies. So it's very
Is that what they say when they say like we chase an index?
Yes.
Is that what they say, that they chase like your top 40 companies?
Correct.
Okay.
So, for example, there's an ETN and an ETF based on Tesla.
Okay.
So, technically, you're buying a share, or you're going to be getting return on the debt that is owed on Tesla. So, Tesla borrows money to create its projects, and to complete the project, it will lend out shares or extend shares to the public, and you get a return based on that. So, you're actually helping a company grow and develop, and therefore you get your return. So, ETNs and ETFs are based on a security account that you can access from your bank as well, or you can open it through a relevant financial service provider.
Okay.
Like
me. Like me.
So I can show you how to do it, but I'm not totally mandated on the liability of it. So that's why Standard Bank gets security account for my clients or something.
Okay.
I know PSG has their own securities account that they allow investment clients to access or open. But I mean, ETFs and ETNs do fluctuate constantly, so you must be
in the game yourself. Yeah. Okay.
Enough of the financial advising. So you say you're entrepreneur. So what is the side hustle? Or is it the main source?
Yeah.
So I guess.
And do you advise it to people?
I'll tell. Look, okay. So starting my career off as an advisor prompted me to become an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So I realized that, okay, I'm surrounded by businessmen, surrounded by individuals that make good money, a little bit of money, but they all looked at gearing themselves towards making extra income.
Okay.
And handling other people's money makes you even more aware of your own money and how you can grow and develop
I get
it.
what you're saying.
Financial advising, the business itself is a long-term goal of mine. So that is I would structure it as my retirement venture.
Okay.
So when I hit 55 or 60 or 65, I plan to sell my book or let go of being an advisor, because I've now started building other businesses.
Yes. That takes over basically.
That
or
would take over.
Would be able to,
I don't know. I'll probably get into trouble at work for saying this, but it's fine. Subsequent to that, I've started a brand. So the brand includes clothing, music, and events currently. So everything in its infancy has started taking shape and growing traction and getting noticed by other people.
Yes.
Then I have an import and export company that I do niche products from Europe and supply local stores here as well as retail to the end user.
Beautiful. I know that I bought one of your apparel. I bought apparel from you, and I think it was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And I still wear it to this day. Like the quality is great. I don't need to wash it like
100 times.
You know what I mean, 100 times. And honestly, when I wore it out a few times, especially when I used to play rugby, like a lot of my teammates would be like, "Where'd you buy this?" And then I would tell them, "Listen, dude, go check them out, bro.
Sure.
Like, this stuff is
legit,
you know."
around you, because I don't fucking remember anything.
I'll show you, bro. I'll show you. You know, remember it's summer.
I appreciate the sentiment coming from was, but I was gonna be totally happy if you just told me, "Look, this thing is fucking."
Yeah, it is, dude. It is. I was about to say, like, it's got this like the like almost like it's not a sheepskin, but like
Sure.
it's like this wool on the inside. It's lovely, dude. Honest.
Someone's there.
Yeah. excuse my language, but coming back to the topic of apparel, like I said, everything starts off slow, crawl,
yeah.
you walk, then you run, then you fly.
Yeah.
So right now, giving you guys insight, it's developing a set of clothing that can be sold just as good as the brands you guys are wearing.
Yeah.
So I haven't taken up design or
Glad you noticed it's a brand.
fashion or those kind of things, but really being business minded, you kind of identify that everyone just wants a simple tee that they can wear.
Yeah.
And if you
make
something
himself
that
feel
relates
better
to
about
them.
himself and
Yeah.
relate
They
to
can
him.
relate to,
Yeah, 100%, dude.
those kind of things
That's really cool, man. So, well, I don't know if it counts as being an entrepreneur as well, but like Forex, do you trade? Do you advise that?
I used to trade.
What do you say to the people who say it's fake? It's not
Bullshit.
real.
No, the problem is people are not educated about it.
Mhm.
And if you look at the States and places overseas, people have built careers around it, which is
Yeah.
now translating to our country.
Yes.
People are now also growing their accounts
Uh-huh.
and asking people, look, join me and I can
Yeah.
leverage you
Yeah.
and you'll make money.
Yeah, the dangerous
Do you
way.
think those types of things work, or would you rather advise people doing it themselves and learning themselves?
Like getting signals or
I'm going to flip it on you.
Uh-huh.
Do you think, people will do the same question, do you think an advisor is worth it?
yeah, that's true.
So
That's
it's
true.
all about
That's-
the understanding you have of it. you know?
Yeah,
But that's not necessarily saying that person is expert in what he is
yeah,
providing you.
yeah.
number
That's
one,
true.
Number one, the person needs to be reputable. You can't
Yeah.
just go to Tom down
Your
the street
cousin that does it.
that does Forex.
Yeah,
There needs to be some sort of experience. You need to obviously identify yourself.
and he
with the type
can.
of business.
He needs to be able to show his
Back
returns.
it up, yeah.
I wouldn't say that verbatim that he has to turn the computer to you and say,
Yeah,
"Look, I've got
yeah.
10 bond."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
It's just that if he can show you rationally and obviously maybe with paperwork and showing you
exactly.
examples of
This
maybe
is-
his account when he started
Mm.
and this is what he's grown into.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're not saying
Yeah.
like, hey, show us all the money.
Yeah.
But at least
Just be able
make
to
me confident
show
about
me
you.
something. Yeah, exactly. And maybe have something in place that can keep that person accountable. Because like a lot of these oaks that aren't reputable,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
use your money to make money and then
And then
Gone.
they're gone. And then it's
like,
those
so
oaks
how's
that,
that mate of yours that got all that money?
yeah, yes, dude. Crazy.
That's a bit rough.
Yeah, crazy.
Forex is a cool industry.
Mm.
I'd encourage anyone to do it.
Okay, so now between Forex and crypto, like,
Do them both, why not?
Yeah, I
what,
say
what
do
did
them
you
both.
say is a safer option, crypto or Forex?
I think they're both dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
But the way the world's going, this
Mhm.
idea of a non-fiat based currency. So fiat is
Mhm.
all our paper money, right?
Yeah.
We can just print it.
You
Yeah.
can just print it. So a currency that has this ledger that everyone has accountability and know-how of where the transaction has been is kind of a new thing, and money is going to go in that direction.
Yeah.
You can quote me, let's sit here
Yes.
10 years from now, and then if you're using Bitcoin and you're using Ethereum,
Yeah.
you've now changed the currency.
Yeah.
So it's no more dollars and pounds, which will probably still be there in the background,
Yeah.
but the big boys are going to play there in that kind of game
Yeah.
because
And
governments-
that's one reason why I do vouch for Bitcoin now is because these massive institutions are now backing it as well. It's not just your normal retail, you understand, your normal oak in the street buying and selling Bitcoins anymore. Now it's companies dumping and
I heard
dumping.
Mark
and-
Cuban is going to like allow it like as a payment method as well.
Yeah,
So-
well, our very own Elon, bro.
yeah.
Elon Musk, dude. Represent.
The developer of Ethereum, the guy who came up with it,
Mm.
is 26 years old and is met with every financial institution across the world. So it's like
Yes.
more than
Huge.
200 banks,
Yes.
official banks, right? And their method of adopting the cryptocurrency structure, making their own currency that they can now give to us and say, oh, use this. Here's the blueprint that we've taken from Ethereum or whatever. We're now going to build our own currency.
Yeah.
That's legalized by our laws.
Yeah.
So that is like the kind of difference that's happening now.
But I guess your illegal transactions will also go up because you don't know how they won't be able to trace it.
Yeah.
So
because I was saying you can just like hack the code and add one extra zero there.
But in the olden days, money wasn't really traced.
Yeah, true.
You got your money,
and that's it.
Government knew how much notes they printed.
Yeah.
So why is there super true now for you to know every transaction?
True, that's 100. Even today, people don't trace all their transactions. So
no, because they do everything. So, do you have any idea about NFTs?
NFTs,
non-fungible tokens. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Do you know what that is?
No, dude.
So now it's like digital. It's like Bitcoin-based artwork that you can buy online. Then you basically, it's like you can buy a GIF, and you're the only person that owns the rights to that GIF. What? Even though everyone can use it, you're the sole owner of that GIF's URL. No one else can. So
NFTs.
Dude, there's one that sold for $17 million now.
What?
That's crazy.
I'll talk to you after the show.
I saw someone uploaded one of their drawings. They scanned one of their drawings and made it an NFT. I was like,
Wills, this whole Bitcoin thing, bro. Yeah. Do you think Joe Biden being a president? Firstly, like a lot of people they'll always tell me listen, dude, why do you care about Joe Biden? He's the president in America. Then I tell them because that oak is literally now the leader of the free world, dude. That's why it's important. Whoever is the president in America is very important. Do you change your investment structure or like what you invest in because a Joe Biden is in charge versus a Donald Trump or Joe Biden versus Barack Obama, or whenever that Oval Office changes? Do you change must you look at your investments and what you're investing in? Will it change? Will you lose? Will you win?
To make it a simple answer, I don't see the S&P 500 stopping around election time.
Yeah, true.
The detaching yourself from the icon, the president, and your actual investment strategy is two different courses. Okay. Yes, Joe Biden has changed 2030 policies since he's been in power, but that's really just to affect day-to-day living for Americans and maybe somewhat exemplary for other presidents around the world. But in the grand scheme of things, you're buying high, you're selling low. That concept doesn't change. Joe Biden's there or not.
Yeah.
And it's good to see that maybe he's trying to stimulate his fiscal policies somewhat by introducing these policies. But that, coming back to my statement, it doesn't change what's happening at Wall Street. Wall Street is still hitting all-time highs.
Even long-term investments,
I would say the only thing you could take from it or gather from it is that if you see the influence of tech companies being introduced, like your Amazons and Facebooks, these companies are getting different type of tax breaks in the States due to their leverage or the amount of contribution they have to the economy. So that would be mindful. You need to piggyback on that. Your Tesla, these huge
I see Tesla went down a bit this week, or was it last week? But I always when I invest in stocks, for example, one of the things I do look at is I don't just want a company that shows massive returns all the time. In a perfect world, that would be amazing. But what I like to look at is seeing, okay, here's a company that did well. It showed steady growth and steady return on investment. Then it found there was a bit of a slump, but it came back. Because then there's durability in the way they run things there. They're adaptable then. When the economy goes bust, this company, you might lose in the beginning, but there's a chance that they're gonna come back because the way their corporate culture or the way they run things is like it works and it's managed well. I don't just want to see a company doing well. Well, obviously I want my money to grow as much as it can. But in a perfect world that would be great. But sometimes you wanna see. Don't get what I say is if you look at a return and it was green and it went red. Don't now say, oh no, not that company. Let's look at the next one.
Yeah, nothing can always be
exactly 100%.
It ties into the topic of your investment strategy must be well researched. You need to know the company. Two big stocks or companies you should look out is definitely in the marijuana growing industries and water bottling or
100%
selling and retailing of water, because I think water is going to become a very important commodity because it's running out.
It's just getting less and less.
True, dude. True.
I don't know where we're gonna get more.
True. Credit score.
Sure.
Is it important or is it not important?
And how do you figure it out? Like, is there ways companies you can go to? Is there something online you can do to figure out your credit score?
And like, what is a good credit score? What's a bad credit score?
Firstly.
I was actually having this conversation yesterday with a client of mine. He went to the bank and the bank declined his offer to buy a car because he didn't have a credit score. And I mean, obviously, he's earning money, good money. It's not like he can't afford it, but he has no record of debt.
Yeah.
So the credit score is effectively how good you manage your debt. Right?
Yeah. Can you service that debt?
Can you service the debt? So the first thing any young person should do is maybe open a clothing account or open a cell phone account.
And do it as early as possible.
Shouldn't you say they should learn how to work with their money first before doing that? Because I feel like I've seen so many people open clothing accounts and stuff like that, and then they sit with so much debt because they don't know how to.
They don't know how to budget.
They don't know how to. They're not disciplined.
So those are the people you send to me.
Yeah.
Then I help them.
Exactly.
Then we take away the debt.
First give them a slap.
Because I know that, like, for me, I was brought up in a home where it's like you're not allowed to have debt. Everything you have to buy cash, or make sure that if you can't buy cash, you're not allowed to. You can't afford it, And then when I think I was 22 or 23, I wanted to buy a house, and the bank said to me, "No, your income's fine, but you don't have an income to debt ratio. You just have income. We don't know if you can repay debt. So we're not gonna grant you a bond." And then that's where I went and I asked my parents, what do I do now? And then they said, no, go make sure you get a bit more things on your name. For example, like a credit facility at a clothing store. Go open one and make sure that you don't pay it all in one go when you do owe the money, because that also negatively affects your score. Don't default, don't be late on your payments, because I know that when you don't pay, it incurs interest. So things like that. And I was like, and that's my next question. Is I thought to myself, but then I'm in debt. I don't want to be in debt. It's a sin to be in debt. And then I watched a video, I think it was Robert Kiyosaki, and he spoke of there's good debt and bad debt. Can you elaborate on that for us?
So firstly, the credit score is your rating out. I think you're graded up to 1,000.
Okay.
So based on your payment history and your defaults, they score you.
Yeah.
Okay. So a good credit score is a really good credit score is between 750 and 1,000, obviously.
Yes.
And then I think majority of South Africa falls between 750 and about 500.
Okay.
Somewhere there. Good portion of South Africa. Okay. So there is some sort of give and take in terms of it. But in terms of applying for bonds and these kind of things, you will be scrutinized, obviously. Touching on debt, like I said, debt is like a twofold thing. You can make money with debt. Debt can make you lose your life.
100%.
People go suicidal.
It's very serious.
So, quick example. You can go and finance a bond for $1 million or 990,000 and have 10 grand cash to put down as a deposit. So you owe the bank 990, and you can flip that house. Maybe in the week, and then you make your 10 grand back. So it's just about,
and it's literally, but like for me, I sell property, and what I've seen is it literally is that easy to some people. They go and they say, okay, I'm going to get a bond for $1 million. I'm going to sign the papers. I'm going to buy the property. I'm going to spend 50K on the property, and I'm going to sell it for 1.6 million. They pay they give the notice to the to the bank that, listen, I'm going to cancel my bond.
Sure.
Because if you don't do it within 90 days, then you pay a bond cancellation penalty.
Yes.
So it's just all about making it your business, bro. Like, you know all about finance as well, because you went and made it your business. So if you go and make it your business to know that, you have to make sure that you know
the ins and outs
of what you're involved in.
Coming back to it, educating yourself is always key. You can't go and think you're going to take a bond for $1 million and then just sit with it. Someone comes and offers you something
better. You have to go try and push to sell that house.
That's why it's good to have someone like Warren on your side to say, like, hey, look, I'm going to make this decision. It is an investment. I either hope to get rental from it or sell it in the short term.
Yeah, 100%. Is your money safe in the bank?
It is obviously safe, right?
Okay, yeah.
But these days, a huge growing terrorism is cyber hacking.
Sure.
And these are things that happen. I think last week Standard Bank was affected that their clients were debited weird amounts and they had to refund them. Same thing happened to Capitec.
Standard Bank. So I can vouch for that.
Well, shout out Standard Bank. They are a good bank.
Yeah, they are
I'm
a
not
good
saying
bank.
anything bad about them.
They are a good bank.
Same thing happened with Capitec last year during lockdown. I was all over the news.
Actually, I didn't have those debits.
But as a financial institution, they have laws and rules that regulate this. It's part of their policy to make sure clients are refunded when inconvenienced. So there is an element of safety in the bank.
Okay.
Does your money grow totally in the bank? I saw something stupid the other day. An American bank only gives you $100 for every $1 million you have in it for a year. So I mean, that's nothing.
Yeah.
You can do the math on ours because interest rate is about 3% in the bank, or max 3% in the bank.
You get like 3 cents or like 20 cents a month.
It's nothing.
So what I also want to say is that banks, your money isn't. What I learned a few years ago is your money isn't physically in the bank because they invest your money. They're
playing with your money.
You know what I mean? So they play with your money. So it's Then the next thing, Will, I wanted to ask you is, I've been asked a lot or told a lot, like, no, save your money. I was brought up to think, no, don't save your money, invest your money. Like, can you explain to our listeners and our viewers what the difference is between saving and investing? Because I feel like not a lot of people know that.
Okay, so let's break down saving first, right? Saving can be short term, it can be long term. But I guess the point of saving is to use that money at a certain point. So, for example, it's always good to have a good 6 months savings plan where you can, if something happens, you can dip into this money and you can sort yourself out.
Yeah, you got like an emergency fund or whatever.
Saving. Saving can be, okay, in 3 months' time, I expect to buy a couch.
Yes.
So I've saved $5,000, I can buy a couch. So it kind of facilitates short-term goals and short-term needs that may arise. But it's totally different to investing, because investing, you're actually going to an FSP, and that FSP is going to be buying shares on your behalf through a fund. And there's time frames attached to it between a year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So there's a total different paradox between the two. Yeah. So for example, probably the best investment vehicle for people our age is a retirement annuity. Take $500 a month, and that $500 a month is going to pay me when I can't work anymore, when I feel like I shouldn't work anymore. So
The one thing I must say, like, I didn't know about retirement annuity and stuff like that, because it's just something that wasn't part of our family. Like, if I can advise anyone who's young, especially, get a hold of William.
Yeah, we can
get information. So we'll obviously link his Instagram, his I don't know.
You'll find me.
His clothing brand, everything will link up. But if you just want to tell people where they can find you, Instagram, Facebook, wherever.
So Facebook, it's William Wilkinson.
That's the hood of social media.
The hood of social media. You'll find me there. Instagram, it's Wilkinson. All I's are replaced by X's.
Okay.
So this
What's
is
going on there?
Well-
Is he gonna get like high tattoos?
Got a lot of X's, Will.
I do.
Yo.
Those are the only two platforms I use. LinkedIn is really professional for those people geared at really being informed by me totally and holistically. It is William Wilkinson there as well.
And I heard you mention something about a podcast earlier. Is it something financial advisor related, or is it something completely different?
It's purely in entertainment. It is another business that I'm growing and developing. You'll find it on my handles across all social medias as well.
Okay.
So it is there. It's called Chrysalism.
Okay.
FYI, that is the feeling of being indoors during a thunderstorm.
Guys, I must
Is that the
say,
name?
yeah, and it's on
That's a long name.
It's on SoundCloud, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
it's on SoundCloud.
I know for a fact I used to shower and listen to like your show.
That's
Literally,
the,
dude. It's really good music as well. So yeah, I really if I can give you guys just one little tip, go find this oak. If you need help finances, DM him, social media, we all know where to find each other. If you need anything else, I don't know if I can say snooze, but if you need snooze.
Stop. Let's address this. Maybe for the past 2 years, right?
Yeah.
When anyone sees me, they associate me with that product. It's becoming very, very popular.
Yes. Yeah.
But it is I'm actually not starting to like it anymore.
Okay.
Why you guys think you just see me then? It's like Pablo Escobar.
That's that East God stuff. We don't know that anymore.
It's brilliant.
All right. Cheers, guys.
So
thank you very
for
much.
That. We'll link all William's social media down below. We'll link ours down below as well. And obviously, thank you for joining, and thank you for everyone who's watched the first episode. And I hope you learned something.
And
onwards and upwards.
Yeah, and see you next time, bro. Please
Yeah,
come
we'll be back
dude.
because there'll be more questions.
Yeah, there'll be definitely more. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.